I'm live on Facebook. Hello, hello, hello. Greetings and salutations. I hope this day is going really well for you today already. It's raining here, so if you hear some like pops or like some kind of rippling, then that's Oya doing her thing. It's spring here. And we love this. We love the rain because we need the rain. We need the rain so the plants will grow, right? So today is a rainy day, so you may hear that in the background. My name is Sanaa Green, and this is the very first time that I have gone live on Facebook. Very first time. There's a first time for everything, right? And today I want to talk about how past life regression can heal generational trauma. And I have a few notes here, so if you see me look down, it's because I'm looking down at my notes. I took my glasses off because I don't know, it was just like with the, so I was sweating a little bit, and so I was getting condensation on my lenses. Oh my goodness. This whole video thing, you know, I love being able to share, and I'm getting used to it. All right, so as I mentioned, my name is Sanaa Green, and if you're seeing this, you may be following this page. In the Center of Her Power is the name of my company, and I help women to connect with their brightest self through sacred, sensual, earth-touched, multidimensional practices. So that includes sharing nature, belly dance, song, connecting to nature through song, and quantum healing hypnosis or past life regression. So a past life regression, and if you want to know what a past life regression is, or what, then I have a video on my YouTube channel that I will share with you. But today I want to talk about how you can heal generational trauma through past life regression. And there are a number of ways you can do a past life regression. You can have it formally done by someone, or there are videos online where you can do a past life regression. The only caveat to utilizing a video online is that you may not be able to fully process what comes up without the assistance of someone who is a little more dispassionate. It can be very emotional to tie into past lives, and sometimes because you're so emotional, you may not be able to fully process it. I had my first past life regression, the very first. I was startled in the regression, and I woke up before I could actually see the purpose and what my soul was trying to learn from that situation. So just be mindful that it's really better if you work with someone who is trained to do that, like me. You can work with me. I'm actually going to be leading a past life regression in person at Trap Yoga Studio, Trap Yoga and Massage Studio here in Detroit, Michigan. I also do some online things. I have a number of online things coming up, so connect with me online at centerherpower.com. centerherpower.com. All right, so I know most of us have heard about this term generational trauma, and I'm not making light of it. It's a great term. We needed someone to give voice to what many people, especially people of color, are feeling. I'll say especially Black people who were born in the United States and who lived for a time in enslavement. We have a lot of emotions that have to be processed. Things that we just kind of move through, that we don't even really realize it's connected to trauma, or connected to trauma from other people. But anyway, let me get into it. So one of the things that a past life regression can do is it can help by identifying the core wounds that you may be carrying. All of us have come into this life with core wounds. Every person. That's a part of what happens on the earth plane. A part of what happens is we come in with particular wounds because it gives us a jumping off point to process through life. It gives us a lens through which we can see life so that we know what life is as Sanaa, as a person who is hippie. What is it like to have wide hips and go through life feeling self-conscious about your hips? What is that like? So each of us has a certain wound or a certain set of wounds that we come into this life with, and that's very normal. And sometimes a generational core wound can seem really vague. Like it's not something that we necessarily can put our fingers on, but it's something that is a way that our families process life, or the way our families process emotions, or the way our families process relationships. So it may not be something that you can point your finger on, but it may be just kind of an underlying sense of something's not right. Something's not right. And it can feel as if the way that you interact with your family, or the way your parents interact with you, your parents interact with your children, or parents interact, or whoever interacts, the way your siblings interact, the way you and your siblings interact, that could be reminiscent of some kind of generational trauma, something that happened in another life. So a past life regression can help you to identify the patterns that are functioning in your life. So sometimes we're so accustomed to doing things a certain way that we don't even know that there's another way to do them. We just do it that way. We just feel that way, process that way, say it that way, because that's just how we are. That's what we know. And when you can see the pattern, though, then you can see that the pattern may actually be from not this life necessarily. It may have originated in a previous life. When I do quantum healing hypnosis sessions, what I ask the higher self is, when did this issue first begin? When did it first begin? And I've heard in a number of situations that it began in another life hundreds of years ago. So past life regression can help you to see the patterns of how you came to be the way you are. And then the other thing, once you can see the patterns, then this is when you can start to break some of the ancestral cycles. You know, when you do a past life regression, you might notice that the person who was your mother in this life was maybe your mother in a life hundreds of years ago. And what happened to your mother is the same thing that happened to you. And so it just is continued because it hasn't been processed. In order to be able to move beyond trauma, it has to be looked at, it has to be processed, and it has to be released and forgiven. That's the way to be able to get rid of trauma. Some of the issues that we're carrying are not necessarily our own. They're not necessarily our own. They could be like your grandmother's. Like, for example, my great-grandfather was enslaved. So however he behaved was probably a reflection of how he was treated when he was enslaved. I never knew him, but our families have cycles, and we have cycles about how we process things. So you may be carrying things from different ancestors, from grandmothers, grandfathers, you know, and it's important to be able to process. Once you actually take a look at exactly what's happening, and then you get an understanding of it, you see that there's a cycle, like this happened before. You see that there's a pattern, and then you can forgive whatever happened. And forgiveness is not about saying, okay, you can do whatever you want to me. Okay, that's it. It's just about allowing yourself the grace to say, that happened, I didn't like it. However, I'm going to assume that this happened for a particular reason, for me to be able to have a particular lesson. There was something I wanted to understand, that my soul wanted to understand about this situation. What happens with karma is that we have to, as spirits, as these eternal beings, we have to be able to see situations from every side, from every angle. And that's what karma is. Karma is seeing everything, every situation from every perspective, every vantage point. So from the victim's perspective, from the perpetrator's perspective, from the observer's perspective, from the person who was harmed by what the perpetrator did, from the person who was harmed by what the victim may have done. All of it is important in order to be able to understand particular aspects of being a human being, having an experience on this earth. So the key thing to know is that you can break the cycles. Once you look at it, once you process, once you release and forgive, then you can break the cycle. You can be a cycle breaker. You don't have to be trapped in whatever you may have inherited from your family. You don't have to be trapped in that. This is the time, especially right now, this is the time for every person to release any limitations that they may have had. So no one says that you have to continue to do the same thing that you've been doing. Well, somebody does say it, but we don't listen. How about that? How about the healing is that we're going to decide that I'm no longer doing that. I'm no longer reacting in that way. I'm no longer treating that person in that way. I'm no longer treating myself in the way that's not loving. And that's a part of generational healing. So you can actually change not only for yourself, but for all the people who come after you and all the people who came before you. That's what a generational healer is. It's the person who's able to take a look at a situation and decide that this needs to change and have the courage to change it within themselves. The real change is the change that you can make within yourself. And it's all about forgiveness. It's all about awareness. And then we have to release it. Release it and say, you know what? It did what it was supposed to do. The experience gave me the trauma gave me the experience that I needed to have. And so I release it and let go. So past life regression can help you to see patterns. It can help you to see how situations may have impacted your ancestors. There have been situations where I had past life regression. I did a past life regression with a person, and when the client saw their parent as this child who had been left behind, they understood completely why the parent behaves the way they do. And I keep saying parents because we're talking about generations and generational trauma, but it's parents, grandparents, and we choose our parents because they can help us have particular experiences. And so we love them and we accept them for whoever they are, regardless of how foul they may have been. and we understand that it's important to, and now we understand it's important to release, and that's where the healing comes from. All right. So that is how you can use past life regression to heal generational trauma. You take a look at it, become aware of it, forgive, and then release. All right, if you would like more information, if you'd like to contact me, reach out to me at Sanaa@centerherpower.com. You can also find me here on Facebook, on Instagram, and I'll look forward to connecting to you again soon. Be well.